Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Look at the Sichas Chalak Beis, Parshas Naso. When we're learning the whole Sicha, which is Chiddush, it's nice and not too long, so we can finish it. And continuing from yesterday, we were discussing. It says in this Parsha, it says, Isha ki sishta, ki sista. When his wife will turn astray, and we use this pasuk as a proof for the saying, a person doesn't do an avera unless a spirit of shtus, folly, insanity, confusion enters them. So we asked a few questions. We said, first of all, there's other sayings of the rabbis, Mamar Chazal, they don't bring a pasuk as a proof. So why in this case we're using this pasuk? That's the first question. Then always use that. And also we're asking, essentially what we're saying is the person doesn't do an avera unless it's ruach shtus. Now, what is considered an avera? There's a lot of categories. Even like it says in Tanya, is brought down as a mitzvah. Right? It could be even kaddish atzachol mutalach. You should sanctify yourself with what is permissible, which it means anything that is kosher, but you do it for not a good reason. That's considered an avera. And to say that a person that does such an avera, let's say we eat an extra piece of cheesecake, Shavuos, and we're full, like I'm good, and then we have another one anyway. Are we going to say that person is comparable to an unfaithful wife or a suspected unfaithful wife? It's like intense. So we said there's two. So that was sort of the question. So we said to understand this, not to understand. We said there's two ways of understanding this idea. And that will help us understand why we're using such an extreme example, and also why this example is so befitting to this subject. So we said the halacha of kisista when his wife turned astray, specifically in regards to a married woman, a person that is married to someone. The reason why it's so strict is because it's a ishes ish. She's a married woman. She's married to a husband. And so too, in regards to this concept of us not doing averas, we are considered married. It applies to us being married. We're in a relationship with Hashem. And through that avera, so to speak, the way that we do, we, so to speak, separate ourselves from godliness. Call avera, I feel avera kala, pigemus, kol kach, mishum shishal heim, bechinas, ishal, as we're going to explain, we are like the wife of Hashem. So any little thing that we do wrong is a problem. Just like, and that's what I'm saying, just like kaddish is atzachol mutalach, sanctifying yourself with what is permissible, meaning even in a relationship, it would be foolish to say that you say today, I'm not married anymore. I pretend I'm not married. I'm doing my own thing, and any stage of marriage is totally given. Yeah, you might need some time to yourself, but that time to yourself is part of the marriage. It's to be a good husband or a good wife, to be there for my spouse. I need some time, but chas v'shalom to say I need a break from marriage, like this is, I'm going to do my own thing for a little bit, even for an hour, even for a minute. That's problematic. So now by Zayar, it says in the Zayar, a philosopher asked Rabbi Eliezer, we are the choicest of people, we're the chosen nation. So therefore, this is a famous question. The Yidden, we're all so special, we're chosen, and look at us, we're minimal amount of people. We've been around for a long time, and there's not many of us. So what's going on over here? Why are we so little? There's billions of Muslims, and there's billions of Christians, and there's a few million Jews, and we never get too far, over 20 million. It's pretty small numbers. What's going on over here? So Eliezer answers like this. This itself is the proof. Being that we're the chosen people, Einam Sevlim Pselas. We can't handle Pselas. I don't know how to translate. It's like leftovers, not good stuff. So there's one way you could say it. It's like the dregs, like you have and you make wine, and so you have the pselas, like this, like the leftover stuff, the junk that you don't want. So by us and Hashem and the Jewish people, we can't handle that. Like creepy callers, like creepy animals spiritually. Therefore, also we can't handle them. Meaning the reason why we're small in numbers is because it's not easy. It's not easy being a Jew. We're very exclusive, and the effort you've put in, it's a real relationship we have with Hashem. So therefore, in a real relationship, it matters. We're in your relationship with a friend, whatever, you're friends, you live your own lives, and you hang out together, and you have a good time together, and that's it. But when you get married, your relationship with the person when you're married is a whole different level. It's much more intense. It's way more intense, and you have to put in a lot more effort. And it elevates the whole experience. Is an elevated experience. It's much more full on, and therefore, when by not Yidden, people that aren't Jewish, the nations of the world, they don't have that type of deep relationship. So therefore, it doesn't have to be so extreme. Whereas by Yid, we're married to Hashem, so it's very extreme. This is like what explains in the Mayim Basel Gani. That by the nations of the world, they don't call Hashem the God of gods. That is considered a rebellion. For a person that's not Jewish, the only requirement they have is to say that God, Hashem, is the God of gods. And that's good enough. If they say he's not the God of all gods, so then that's already a problem. But by us, it doesn't work that way. Being we're on a higher level, we can appreciate more meant to be more sensitive to godliness. Naso b'chol avera calls that any avera that we do, nifrad b'tachlis. We get separated by any little avera we do. Nifrad, but he says nifrad b'tachlis. It's a very, very extreme. He's like we become totally separated, totally removed. Menutak legam milkus, uprooted totally from godliness. More than klipa v'strachim. Meaning, by a person that's not a Yid, that their relationship is not as deep, not married. So therefore, as long as they don't say there's no God, Hashem doesn't exist, they're good. By a Yid, like we said, we're on a much deeper level of relationship. It's much more extreme. So therefore, by agree to separate himself, he has to say there's no God. It's not even the God of gods. And then he separates himself. By Yid, any little avera, we separate ourselves. So our relationship is a lot more extreme. Just like we said before, the difference between a relationship between a husband and a wife versus friends is incomparable. And so you could say sort of the Goyim are like friends to Hashem, and we are like married. When your friend, you make a joke, could be, let's say, not a nice joke to your friend, so they'll be like, oh, whatever, it wasn't so nice. In a relationship, in a marriage, if you say something not nice, it's very hurtful. Yeah, Yisrael, we are like the heart. And we're like the heart, just like the heart is very sensitive and can't handle not good things, Heart attacks is very not good. And just like a heart is very sensitive, and even the most sensitive things to be very careful. That's why you have to do exercise, you have to take care of ourselves. And unfortunately people get heart attacks, and not having a heart attack, it ruins, not good. We are like that. So we're very sensitive. And that's the answer of Rabbi Eliezer, the philosopher. And this is B'chal, a Vart. We have to understand that some Yahs why do I have so many mitzvahs? Why is it so hard to be Yud? I'd rather be Chas V'Shalom, Lahavdil. I'd rather be a guy. Don't have to do anything. And I could just keep Shev mitzvahs and be fine. It's like, but then you'd be just a regular limb. We have the heart. Our connection is deep. It comes with its challenges. Yeah, you have to do 13 mitzvahs, but it also comes with the depth of the relationship. Being married is being married with proper effort is the greatest thing. Having, just like doing term mitzvahs and having a relationship with the Eibush, there's nothing greater than that. But if we're lazy and we're not taking care of ourselves, don't do the right thing, and I hate doing mitzvahs, yeah, you're not going to enjoy that relationship. But the problem is not the relationship. The problem is our perspective on the relationship. But essentially what we're saying is, it's very deep, and our relationship with Hashem is very deep. It comes from a very deep place, and therefore everything we do really matters. And this we can help understand this connection between a woman turning astray, which we said is a very extreme case, to a person doesn't do an avera unless a spirit of shtus enters them. Now we can understand why we're using this pasuk to explain this idea. The kisista, woman turning straight. Because why? Because we are married to Hashem. We are like Hashem's wife. Now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu habal this is always, we are the wife, Hashem is the husband, and this is always like this. Not just when we live in Geula times, or in times based in Minush, but the whole time, even in Golus. But I have the difference between now when we're in Golus, and when Mashiach comes, who rak bekach shatani kadosh baruch hu shem Baal. Now Hashem is called the Baal, the husband, but when Mashiach comes, he's called the Ish, the man. Like it says in the pasuk, Gerushav Shalakash Baruch Hu Amar Labal Al Ishtay La'acha Gerushin. Yes, the only difference is that we are considered now Hashem considered a husband, and when Mashiach comes, considered an Ish, like it says in the pasuk. Ein zeh Sefer Christus imachem asher shalachti. Where is this book of divorce that I sent to you? That if Hashem are happy with us, it's not a book of divorce. He said, where is this? It doesn't exist. Because like it says, to switch them for another nation is not possible. Meaning we are stuck. Hashem is stuck with us. Because of that, and therefore, because like it says, what is a kosher woman? She does the will of a husband. Meaning, yesh chashivus gam laveira kala, being that we are the wife to Hashem, and what is considered a good wife does the ratzon of the Baal, we do the will of Hashem, and therefore, any time we don't do the will of Hashem, it's even the smallest thing, it's considered like an avera. When we go against the will of Hashem, even a small thing, even to the extent of sanctifying yourself with what is permissible, even in the realm of things that are permissible. They say, what's the problem? It's kosher. But if we don't have the right intent, we're not connecting, we're not doing it for the right reasons, we're not doing the will of Hashem, then we lose our status of an isha kasher, of a kosher wife to Hashem. Therefore, to finish it off, now to appreciate this idea And the reality is that anytime we separate ourselves from Hashem, even in the slightest bit, we separate ourselves. I feel with even in regards to things that are permissible. We're not talking about when you're doing a ve'er chas v'shalom or something, you're not allowed to eat this and you eat it, or we don't say Shema, we're meant to say Shema, or we don't like shalas kaim chas v'shalom. But even when we do something permissible, we eat, we make a bracha, we say we speak something not nice about a person. We do things that aren't forbidden, that they're not an avera, but we do it, but it's all for the right reason. Even that, see, I feel b'dvar hamutarim muva l'tzerich zem hapasuk hisishta, and that's why we use this pasuk of a woman turning astray, because she'einu begeder hechacha greda ella mishamish gam hez. It's not just come to show us this example, but it's really bringing out the point. That why is even a small avera so intense? Because the neshama, the nefesh bahamis, and the nefesh ativis, and the natural soul, and the body, every part of us is like a wife to Hashem. Now, like we said before, what is a kosher woman, kosher wife? We do the will of Hashem. And therefore, even a small thing that we go against is a big issue. And this is the lesson. What we're showing is, and this is the point we have to realize what we're saying here. We're saying is, the question was, why are we using an example to explain that a person doesn't do an avera unless a spirit of shtus comes into them? And we said, in order to appreciate this, we use a pasuk of a woman turning astray. That's an extreme example. Woman turning astray, that's like being unfaithful to a husband. That's pretty extreme to say that when I do a little avera, and here we're saying, even if I eat a piece of something kosher with a bracha, I just have the intent and just to enjoy the food and no ulterior motive for holy purposes, that I'm like a suspected woman, wife to my husband, to Hashem. Really? Just saying, yeah, that's exactly it. Your relationship with Hashem is real. It's no jokes. Thought, whatever. I did my davening, I did my learning. I'm a free person now. I don't have to worry about Hashem until the next davening, until the next mitzvah I need to do. It doesn't work that way. And so too in a relationship with the husband and wife, it doesn't work that way. It's not, I made you breakfast, leave me alone, I don't want to speak to you until tonight. That's not a relationship, and that's a big issue. And this is what we're saying. We're using this pasuk because it's exactly the point. We're trying to bring out we're trying to make you understand. This is what they're saying, that the pasuk is trying to show you, and the Maimon Chazal is trying to show you that your relationship with Hashem is deep. It's not superficial. It's not when I'm comfortable, when I'm in the mood. It's with everything. And the whole time you're in a relationship, it's either it's working or it's not working. So, Mr. Hashem, by all of us, we should realize this relationship we have with Hashem and how deep and how profound it can be, and we should learn to appreciate it. And through learning to appreciate it, we will put in the effort to make it as good as it can be. Have a great day.